So we continue our chapter to the part 3. So the topic. This part 3 is quite technical. So we discussed about the supervised learning before. We discussed about unsupervised. We discussed about reinforcement, and there's some academic or some researchers say that they also have a semi-supervised. So the supervised learning is some of type of what we can do. The algorithm we can do for supervised. We can do prediction, and we can do a classification or the regression. Okay, this some type of the how we can represent supervised machine learning in a mathematical formula or mathematical way. So the X and here is subset of the R. So R is a subject or a topic or training data that we have. So then when we come the new features or new data, which is yn, is also will become a subset of the R. I mean, it based on the X, you can predict the Y in here. So that's what this mathematical basically try to tell you. Okay. Then we have the unsupervised learning here. So in unsupervised learning, we have a clustering, we have the probability distribution estimation, we have finding association, and we have the dimension reduction. We try to group this into you see that different from here and here. In here we have training data set. In here we doesn't have a training data set, just the xn. So this xn we try to group into whatever group that we have. So that's why we call it n1 and n1 to the n here, the maximum n. Okay. And we have semi-supervised and we have reinforcement. So reinforcement used in decision making, like I said, in feedback from the user, you have robot and the chess machine and so on. Okay, we have robot there. So this is how the picture that how I can represent the supervised, unsupervised, and semi-supervised. So supervised, based on the feature set, you draw what this is some like the how you can see the process of the machine learning. In supervised, based on the training data set, we have some boundary that we can differentiate between one group and another group. So this boundary is created based on the feature set that we have. So that we call it supervised learning. In unsupervised, the data is already the same because you doesn't have a training data set. So you doesn't have a feature that you can learn before. What unsupervised do, it group this data into this similar group. So like I said, this perhaps this group having a probability to have a good result in programming based on any features that appear in this group. So this group have this view have a more I think this group can pass the programming, and this group is maybe a group that maybe will fail in the programming subject. So based on this unsupervised learning, you can take a really good measure, or you can take a good action for this one, or this some sort of semi-supervised. I'm not go detail into semi-supervised, but from this topic, what we know is semi-supervised is they also have a feedback from the user that will classify this will go into which group. So that means the semi-supervised. Okay, this is general of architecture of machine learning structure. So you have a training text document, you have whatever learn, you extract the feature vector, you apply the algorithm. You also have a label in here because you're training. You have the label, it means the result from the previous study. So you do a predictive model and what's the expected level. So you do the prediction in here, or you can describe from this algorithm. So this kind of machine learning structure. So this is unsupervised. So in unsupervised, you just have a label. You have the same one we here, see, but you have the label. The label means the result of the previous data set, that the historical. So if you have the X group of training set, means you already have the result for it. So that's we have the label. But for the unsupervised, you doesn't have a label for it. So you create a model, so then there's the likelihood, or you have a cluster ID for that one, for the beta representation. Okay. So this is a type of method that we have in supervised. We still not go detail in this. If you take data mining for the next semester, maybe perhaps you will look in this algorithm in detail. So we learn about the linear classifier for the supervised, parametric, we have naive Bayes, we have GDA, we have hidden Markov model, and then we have probability graphical model. We have non-parametric style of thing, KNN and so on, non-material and aggregation. So I don't go detail for this, but you need to know what algorithm in what group of the machine learning. Okay, so this is the same thing before that. How the supervised happen is try to make addition boundary here. So this is still supervised. We have training set, we have algorithm, and we have produced a model based on the algorithm. So the keyword in here is training set that we have in the supervised. Okay. This some example, same here, the learning technique, we have perception, the SVM, MLP is type of algorithm for the supervised. Okay. For the unsupervised, this is type of algorithm that we have. We have clustering, k-means, spectral, we have density estimation, we have dimensionality reduction. So all this algorithm is the purpose is want to reduce a group thing or so on. Okay. So this is how you can graphical presentation of unsupervised based on the data. You group dates based on the yellow, based on the green, and based on the pink color. So we try to make try to put the data into the proper group. That's the unsupervised. Okay. So what type of sort application between supervised and unsupervised? Okay. So this is type of application for the unsupervised. For example, for face detection. So it's learn from your face recognition system, and it learn your based on feature set. So it group and it try to recognize this thing. So object detection, image segmentation, multimedia event detection, economical and commercial usage. Okay. So before I stop the lecture today, I try to recap what we learned today. So we learned about the machine learning, why machine learning important, what applications use machine learning. So we learned about machine learning type. So it divide into three main type: is supervised, unsupervised, and we also have the reinforcement learning. So this is three important type in the machine learning. So and I also explain the difference between this and the application. So before I go, that you need to know that we use the machine learning in our daily life. For example, even for the content, creative content, for the Netflix, for example, whenever you see the movie in the Netflix or the series, whenever you finish the series, the Netflix always suggests, the series that is quite similar with the series that you watch. So this kind of based on the genre that you watch, or based on the actor that you watch. So this kind of factor that makes the suggestion. So that's a creative content, and even in security, in the national security, and the healthcare. So machine learning is everywhere. So it's really important to you to know about this. Okay. I end my lecture with the one quote from the Mark Cuban. He said that artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, whatever you're doing, if you don't understand it, learn it, because otherwise you are going to be a dinosaur within 3 years. So 3 years is not enough. So within 3 years you already because this technology is evolve every day. So we need to catch with this in order we want to develop something of us. Okay. By end, I hope you got something from this lecture and try to understand it. We can discuss this during the tutorial for more detail. So thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.